Never in a million years did I imagine that I would put my dating situation out there for the whole world to see. Welcome back to my channel. This is Nyla here again with a new video this week, and I wanted to talk about dating, and I wanted to go more into depth into it. I posted a dating video not too long ago, and I've noticed that it got a little bit of traffic compared to the last videos that I have posted. So I wanted to go more into depth into it. So I decided to put myself out there and start dating myself. And I downloaded a couple of dating apps, and I wanted to put myself out there and date and meet new people. And I wanted to get an experience out of it, and might as well just create new content, you know? I wanted to put myself out there not to meet a soulmate or a partner, but rather to meet new people and to see what I can learn. I had no expectations of who I wanted to meet. If I could, I would say yes to meeting new people. And I would go out and I would go on dates with at least new person every week for at least 2 months. So I did meet a couple of people and a lot of interesting characters along the way. I went into this open-minded. I didn't have any expectations. I wanted to see what I could learn from each person. I wanted to get to know every person one-on-one. I wanted to see what their story was, why they saw life the way that they did. In a way, I wanted to crack people's head. I wanted to ask them questions. I wanted to know their story. Everybody is more interesting than I am. I already know what I know, and I wanted to see what other people knew. I learned what I could from each person, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I learned a lot, not only about them, but from myself. Out of all this dating that I did, I gathered some dating tips and advice for you guys. And I'm not guaranteeing, you can use these tips at your own risk. I am not guaranteeing you that you're going to meet your soulmate by tomorrow. What I am guaranteeing you though is that you will keep yourself sane and that you will keep your sense of self intact. I gathered up 4 main dating tips that I can give you guys. Dating tip number 1 is to go out and meet new people having 0 expectations. I know that most people on there use dating apps to find their true love or their soulmate or their future partner, but they go on there already have this idea of how this partner is supposed to be and how their life is supposed to be. So you're already having this set of expectations. You start bringing them up the first times that you meet a new person. And now when you do this, you tend to scare people away. It can be scary, you know, getting to know almost a stranger and them telling you that they want, I don't know how many babies, that they already have the names of the babies picked, that they want this type of future, that they want this type of spouse, this type of wedding. And that's some scary shit. Y'all be doing some fucking scary shit out there, telling your whole ass future to this person that you barely even know. Go on there, take your time, take a breather. Most people that go on dates and use dating apps decide to meet new people having already this set idea of how the date is supposed to go. When you start talking to someone and when you start to get along to the point that you decide to meet up in person, you already start to have this fantasy of this other person. I feel like us having expectations, meaning you already start to fantasize about this person. You have an idea of how you would like the person to be or how the date is supposed to go. Those expectations start to add some pressure within yourself to act a certain way. And when you start having these expectations, in a way, you become someone that you are not. You start to act fake in a way. Your true self doesn't really come out because you already have this idea of how you want the outcome to be. The best way that worked out for me was to not expect anything out of meeting these new people. I expected the worst. I expected that they were going to ghost me. I expected for them to ghost me right there on that date. I expected for me to not have a sort of connection with the other person. And I know it's very, very negative way to see things, but it helped me because in some cases, the worst actually did happen. There were some cases that I was ghosted. There were some cases that I didn't really click with the person, and I really didn't click when I met with the person compared to how I would talk to them or when I would text them. And it wasn't really that bad because I didn't create these expectations, or I didn't start to fantasize about the person. I saw them as a person, as flawed as they were, like me, and I just saw it as, I'm going to hang out with a friend. I'm just going to go out there and try and see what I can learn from this person. No expectations, no outcomes. I want you to also have zero expectations on how you want this person to act after you meet them or to act after you start talking to them. Keep in mind that this person is a stranger and they owe nothing to you. They don't owe you their time, their attention, their love, their care. And I feel like after we meet someone, we start to feel entitled to their time, and we start to get mad when they take hours to reply, when they take days to reply. It is within their own right to act that way because they owe nothing to you. And what were they? You're a stranger. They don't know you. You don't know them. They're going to act like how they always do. And I feel like that's when your perspective comes into play. You don't have to let these things affect you. You don't have to let ghosting affect you. You don't have to let ignoring affect you. If someone ignores you, if someone ghosts you, stop talking to them. You don't owe them anything. I feel like that's crazy that people feel mad or upset that someone ghosted them, especially in the beginning stages of dating. It's another case when you guys are talking for months at a time and they start doing all this shit to you. That's another topic. These expectations that you create when you're first starting to meet someone, it is in a way unfair to the stranger that you're trying to meet because you already have an idea of how you want them to act. But guess what? This stranger is a person just like you, and they're going to act how they want to fucking act. They don't give a fuck how you feel because why would they? They don't fucking know you. Anyway, my point is, have zero expectations in this. Go on there, be chill, get to know the person, zero expectations, zero agendas. And let me tell you that it's going to be a breeze, and you're going to feel so relaxed because you do not have this fantasy of how you want this person to be or how you envision this stranger to act around you. It is such a breath of fresh air knowing that if this stranger acts a certain way, it's not going to affect you because you had no expectations in the first place. The second tip that I can give you is to listen to your gut or to your instincts. Listening to your gut will help you out in the long run. Be mindful of how you feel after you hang out with someone and while you hang out with someone. If you feel annoyed, if you feel upset, if you feel happy, if you feel relaxed, you have to pay attention to those things while you're meeting new strangers. These feelings will help you along the way. And I know that when you first start to meet someone, it's very tempting to not listen to your gut feelings because you're over the moon, you're so ecstatic, and you think that you clicked, but in reality, not really. And your gut feeling is the one that lets you know first. But we don't want to see the signs, we don't want to see those red flags, and those feelings will help you out in the long run. So do not ignore them. Don't ignore those red flags. Don't ignore those moments where this new person does something iffy and it makes you take a double look. Always do that extra look. Always, all the time, and always be aware. My third dating tip is to not hold back. When we first meet a stranger, we get shy, obviously. We get shy because we're not really sure if this stranger is going to like us, if this stranger is going to accept us. So we start to act a certain way. We start to hold ourselves back. We start to hold our tongue. We start to act in a way that you think will make them like you. And I've noticed that I do that a lot. I did do that in the beginning, and it made me in a way shy. It made me nervous. It got to the point where I was like, why the fuck am I getting nervous meeting this stranger? There's no reason to. I was fine before I knew they existed. I was fine before just talking to them. But now all of a sudden that I'm gonna get to meet them in person, now I'm getting anxious all of a sudden. Now I'm getting shy. And I know it's very normal to feel that way because it's a new person. But to be honest, think about it this way. You're meeting a new stranger. You don't know if you're gonna keep talking. You don't know if you're gonna keep talking tomorrow. This person might ghost you. This person might not be the person that you thought that they were. And because of those things alone, I feel like you should just act the way that you want to be. Like, don't hold yourself back. In a way, you're not doing yourself a favor trying to hold yourself back, trying to act a certain way, trying to act proper or formal, because those things that you think make you weird, those things that you think will not make them like you, those are the things that make you you. That's the juicy stuff. That's the thing that makes you extra special. Fuck what they may think. If you like to geek out about something, tell them about it. Talk to them about it. Get excited about stuff. In the beginning, it was very hard to do this, but once you start to get to know more people, once you start putting yourself more out there, that shyness, that nervousness, it's gonna go away. Because the more you do something, the better you get at it. So by the end of my dating phase, I didn't give a fuck. I would just go there and I'm like, you know what? I no expectations. Whatever happens, happens. I'm gonna be myself. I'm not even nervous at this point. And because of this, the dates were more real, they were more authentic, and they were 10 times more fun for me. Who cares if they think you're weird? Who cares of what they think about your opinion? You're there to get to know each other, the real you, not something that you think that they will like. Fuck that. The most important dating tip that I have for you guys is to have fun. I feel like with all this dating that you're doing and trying to get to know people and having these expectations of yourself and from other people, or having these fantasies of how the date is supposed to go or how you want your dating life to be like, you start to forget about the main idea of why you want to meet someone or why you decide to meet up with someone. Is the base idea is just to have fun, to get to know each other. You going into these dates with the idea that you're going to have fun will set you free from having these expectations or holding yourself back. At the end of the day, you're there to get to know each other. You're there to see if you click or not. I did everything in the aspect of fun. What can I go? What can I learn? I'm gonna meet this new person. What can I ask them? What can I do to crack their head? Like, to me, it was all fun. And I feel like that helped me out in the long run. I'm here to be chill. I'm here to get to know you. You're here to get to know me, and we can ask each other questions. If it works out, fine. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. And that's fine too. Look, you're going to meet all kinds of people. People are going to treat you the way that they want to treat you. They're going to ignore you. They're going to ghost you. They're going to take forever to reply, days to reply, and then stop replying altogether. You know what? It is within their rights to treat you that way, because these strangers that you are starting to meet, they don't owe you anything. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you their time or their attention. And if you feel that they do, then you're coming out of a place of entitlement. And no stranger owes you anything. If you go on there with zero expectations, just trying to see what you see, who you will meet, believe me, dating will be so much easier for you. I will go out there again knowing that people don't owe me anything, that if something happens with a person, then it happens, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't, and that's fine. You are not meant to click with everybody. Nobody owes you anything. People are going to ignore you, and when you already have these things into mind, you don't expect anything from anybody. And when you have zero expectations, life becomes such a breeze. That's when the real you comes out. That's when you don't start to hold yourself back. And that's when the fun starts. When you throw these fucking expectations that you have of dating, or your future husband or your future wife out the fucking window. Throw them out. Throw them the fuck out. And just put yourself out there and don't expect anything from anybody. Nobody owes you shit. Remember that. These are strangers that you're trying to meet, and you don't owe them anything either. These dating tips do not guarantee you finding your soulmate, because if they would, then I would have mine right now, but I do not. And also, I don't even believe in soulmates. So I wish you all the best in your dating endeavors, and because you're going to need it. If you are dating right now and you are putting yourself out there, props to you. You have balls.